When the question asks for the main purpose of an underlined portion, we still need to read the entire passage because sometimes that's related to the entire passage. So let's just start at the beginning. Ordinary soap bubbles usually exist for a minute or less before popping due to either a rupture forced by gravity-induced drainage or the evaporation of the liquid from which the bubble is composed. Okay, that's kind of confusing, but don't worry about it. But physicist Aymeric Roux and colleagues discovered ways to mitigate these factors, resulting in bubbles that can last for a year or more. Okay, just that is understandable. Focus on that. For example, glycerol tends to adhere to water molecules, so a bubble with a shell that contains both water and glycerol is able to draw additional water molecules from the surrounding air and thereby compensate for evaporation. So glycerol matters. What's the main purpose? A, it describes the effects of a process devised by researchers that increases the longevity of an object discussed in the text. That sounds fancy, but it's basically what they said. So try to turn each piece into a question. Do they talk about a process devised by researchers? Yes. The glycerol, if I can spell it, is kind of the process, adding that to the bubble. What's the effect of that? Well, it increases the longevity. They say that. Longevity means how long something lasts. What's the object discussed in the text, the bubble? Notice how they're going out of their way not to mention any of the stuff that's in the passage. This is why when you come up with your own little summaries of what's going on, if you focus too much on details, you're going to lose track of things. Even though you think you understand more of what's going on, you're going to get to answers like A and be like, oh, this is wrong. It doesn't match. It doesn't include all these ideas that are in my summary. But that's okay. They're going to include them in ways that are very vague and weak. So I think this is going to be the answer. Let's look at the other choices to be sure. B, it details the circumstances that prompted the research discussed in the text. No, so why? Why did they start researching the bubbles? I genuinely don't know. Maybe they're just curious, but it does not say in the text why they did that. C, it presents a reason why the phenomenon discussed in the text that the researchers wanted to avoid will inevitably occur. So what's the phenomenon that they want to avoid? The bubbles bursting? The bubbles popping? Maybe? And so then it will inevitably occur? Well, it kind of seems like no. The whole point is that it won't inevitably occur. If we add this glycerol stuff to the bubble, then it will last for longer. So I don't know. This just seems wrong. D, it mentions a method discussed in the text that researchers intend to test in future experiments. No, they're doing it now. They're testing it now. The glycerol thing is happening now. They said that. So yes, A is the answer. Maybe that one just kind of clicks with you, but even still, we should go through the other answer choices and prove them wrong if we can. I think we've got clear reasons why all the others are wrong, but notice that choice A is this very weird way of summarizing a passage about bubbles. It does not mention the bubbles at all. You've got to get comfortable with that. The SAT will do that in all sorts of questions. This is not a particularly hard one, but they will do that again and again and again because they know you're looking for that word bubble. And when you don't find it, you assume that the choice is wrong, but they're going to talk about it in vague ways. So you have to be comfortable with that when you look through the choices.